Welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today is January 17th, and that means day 17 of the 3DP 365 project. On today's episode, we're going to show you how we printed out the Library of Congress building, so stick around. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 17 of the 3DP 365 project. If you're unfamiliar with the project, check out the description below. I put a fact section down at the bottom that'll give you all the details. But on today's episode, we're going to show you how we printed out the Library of Congress building. And for this print, we used MatterHackers PRO PLA in the color of white on our gMax 1.5 XT+. Over on Thingiverse, MakerBot has released a series of capital city buildings from Washington D.C. And I love to print these, and I've already printed out the White House. And on today's episode, we printed out the Library of Congress building. And these are some really cool models. They have a lot of detail, and they truly represent the heritage of America. So let's head over to Thingiverse, and I'll show you where to download the model. Then we'll tab over to Simplify 3D, and I'll show you my settings. Then we'll fire up some of that time-lapse footage, and I'll meet you guys back here at the workbench. All right, so here we are at Thingiverse. Here is the Library of Congress building by MakerBot. And I'll put the link down in the description so you can download and print this yourself. And this is a part of a series of capital city buildings that MakerBot has released. And I do love to print these, so you'll probably see a lot of these on the 3DP 365 project. But on today's episode, we printed out the Library of Congress. So let's tab over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you my settings. Okay, so here we are in Simplify 3D, and I've dropped the model down on the print bed, and I've blown it up to 150% by double-clicking on the model and entering 150% in the scale. So let's check out my process settings for this print. Under layer height, we printed this at a 0.2 millimeter layer height with 5 top solid layers and 3 bottom solid layers and 3 perimeters. We also used a skirt at 10 millimeters from the print at 4 outlines. For infill, I used 20% because I wanted my flat surfaces to be very smooth. For support, we didn't use any support on this print because I don't believe it needs it. For temperature, this is MatterHackers PRO PLA, and 207 seems to work the best. For cooling, I used a 3-stage cooling. For the first 2 layers, the fan will be off completely. And then on layer 3, it'll kick up to 60%. And then on layer 6, it'll kick up to 80%. And the reason why I did this is to prevent any back pressure with the cooling system. Under speed, we ran this out at 35 millimeters per second just to make sure we did capture all that detail. So let's hit OK, and I'll hit Prepare to Print and show you how this slices. And this shouldn't take very long, even though it is a very detailed model. Okay, so it's finished slicing, so let's hit play and show you how this printed. And of course the MakerBot emblem on the bottom of the building, as always. And there's a lot of detail that the gMax 1.5 XT+ picked up, and I'm really anxious to show you, so let's roll this down to the end. And let's fire up some of that time-lapse footage, and I'll meet you back at the workbench. All right, so that was a cool little bit of time-lapse footage, and here is the finished print. And I'll put some close-ups in at the end like I always do, but this turned out stellar. At 150% with a 0.2 millimeter layer height, the gMax 1.5 XT+ captured all the detail on this. This looks phenomenal. And that MatterHackers PRO PLA in the color of white really helps the building pop. This is an excellent print. I love everything about it. All the detail turned out, all the detail on the roof. We have nice flat surfaces. All the windows are nice and clean. There is a little bit of stringing on my prints, but I'd rather have stringing than failed prints. But this print turned out amazing. I am really happy with this. So thank you for joining me here on the Print 3D channel for day 17 of the 3DP 365 project. I hope you found this episode interesting. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and join me again tomorrow for the next episode of the 3DP 365 project. This is really awesome print. I can't wait to print the rest of the capital city buildings.